And very good evening to everyone, and we welcome you to the East Alton Ice Rink here in the lovely town of East Alton, Illinois. We got a little Kahok hockey action for you. Sorry about the little bit of a delay, but as usual from this location, the Wi-Fi is very spotty. Started off with my hotspot. That didn't work. Had to close everything down, and now we are on the guest Wi-Fi here at the East Alton Ice Rink, and sometimes that doesn't work out very well too because everybody in the whole building is on that one as well. But nevertheless, we are back on. Looks like we got a pretty good signal. So let me get rid of the logo here, and we can at least show you the ice. There we go. And my name is Todd Duke, and we're going to welcome you into a very quick pregame show brought to you tonight by LC's Pub in Caseyville. LC's Pub, great food, great service, all served up daily at LC's Pub in Caseyville. 605 North Main Street is where you'll find them. You can give them a call for carryout orders at 618-855-9007. Well, Kahok's come in here at 0-2 under their fourth-year head coach Craig Duffy, who now has a record of 31-48-5. Triad, they come in at 1-2, and Pat Culleberg is their head coach, and he is into his 13th year in that position. So instead of reading what I already have written out, we'll get to that later if we can, but I do not want to totally get rid of the coach's interview. So without further ado, here is my earlier interview that I took with head coach Craig Duffy for your Collinsville Kahawks. And we welcome you back into the LC's Pub pregame show here on the Kahawk Sports Network. We're at the East Alton Ice Arena. It's more hockey coming your way as Collinsville gets ready to take on Triad. And fourth-year head coach Craig Duffy joining us now. All right, Coach, let's talk about your JV team before we get into the varsity side of the team. Your JV team's already got 6 games into their season. They started off 2-0, a couple of shutouts over Muscuda and Edwardsville High School South. But the last 4 matches, including a pair over the weekend against Columbia and Edwardsville North, didn't go so well. So talk to me about your JV team.
Well, I think they're doing well, all things considered. They're a younger team. We have some newer players on that team. And even though they started out 2-0, they've had some stiff competition here the last 4 games. 2 against Bethalto, 1 against Columbia North, and 1 against Edwardsville North. And all 3 of those teams were at the top of the top division last year in playoffs. So they're no slouches by any stretch of the imagination. The boys battled hard to the very end, which is what we want them to do. And also they're learning some good experiences by playing against these better teams.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the gist of it right there, is it's not about the wins and losses at the JV level, it's about getting them ready for varsity.
100%, and at the end of the day, they already made the playoffs. So this is the time for them to get ice time. We don't shorten the bench. We let everybody play the same amount. They get all the same experiences, and it's a good time for them to grow, develop, see certain game situations so that we can have them come in at varsity as a 10th grader, 11th grader, or whatever.
And sophomore Miles Hayden has been between the pipes in every one of those games. We got to see a little bit of him last year on the varsity side. Tell me about his progress.
I mean, Miles has been great. He works his tail off. He Mr. Consistent. He battles hard. Never lets things get to him. He did break the mold last year and got a number of varsity games. He'll get some this year as well. He makes big saves and doesn't let things get to him. I mean, that's kind of what you want from a goalie, and the boys enjoy playing in front of him.
All right, let's move over to the varsity side. Tough loss Thursday night, man. First off, goals from Nolan Duffy, your son, and Ethan Lewis. Duffy first, Lewis second. Talk to me about the 2 goals that you witnessed.
Well, I mean, the first one was a nice shot. Nolan going to the net, gets a rebound. Lewis has a nice shot as well. Both goals are guys that we expect to score, and they're putting up some points here at varsity, which we like to see. Probably had some more chances there in the game that had we been in the right position or the shots been in the right location, we would have gotten more. But as we talked about Thursday, it's Freeburg, so it's going to go down to the wire, and it did.
Usually does. You were playing a little bit shorthanded that night, right?
Definitely. I think that was the ultimate stake in the heart. Was they were doing their best, trying to hold on, and fatigue started to set in a little bit. They couldn't keep up with some of the forechecking and traps in the neutral zone, and ultimately they got one by us.
All right, and tight game, as we mentioned, penalties way down as opposed to the first game.
Oh, yeah. We're doing much better. I think there was a little bit of excitement in the air that first game, and sometimes the emotions kind of get the best of us. But they're smart, they're disciplined, and some games there's a heightened emotion. Some games it's still a very competitive game, but the emotions aren't necessarily in there.
All right, so the eventual game winner allowed by Ezra Fryman, and I know that was heartbreaking, and I know there was probably not a person in the building that felt as bad as anyone did except for him.
That's right. I mean, at the end of the day, these things are going to happen. Yeah, let's just hope that's the only one we see this year. There's nobody wanting it back more than him. He works hard. The boys like playing in front of him too. But at the end of the day, he's got to be ready for us, and especially that situation. And I think he'll be ready for us now moving forward.
What did you see there? Was that just he took the eye off the puck or just misplayed it?
I think he was in the middle of adjusting his positioning up with his hand on his stick, and then when the shot came, it surprised him, and he was trying to get his stick back in position and just didn't have the time to get it there.
All right, so you got Triad tonight, a team you don't face that often. You only played them once last year. So what's the game plan, and what are you looking out of your team tonight to try to get a rebound win?
Well, I think we need to come out with some speed and some intensity, not necessarily getting penalties, but getting pucks in deep, getting the forecheck going. I like to get things out of our zone quickly because I think Triad's a team that if they get in our zone, they're going to try and set up, and they have some guys who put the pucks in the net. However, I feel with our players we can hem them in and get better chances and then transition well.
Thanks for the visit, Coach. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
All right, that is Craig Duffy, your fourth-year Collinsville hockey head coach. We'll take a break here on the LC's Pub pregame show. When we come back, we'll throw some starters and stats your way. All that and more coming up on the Kahok Sports Network.
Looking for a little bite to eat in a nice, friendly establishment before heading out to a game? Look no further than LC's Pub in Caseyville. Just blocks from Collinsville High School, LC's Pub is the pub of choice for Kahok fans, before, after, or even during Kahok games. LC's Pub features a wide variety of traditional bar food like burgers and fries, chicken wings and chicken strips, appetizers like pepper jack mac and cheese bites, fried pickles, and green beans. Plus they have salads, fish, shrimp, and more. LC's Pub also features an outdoor patio, a gaming room, weekly poker tournaments, and a pool table, plus enough TVs for all the sports fans. And LC's Pub shows Kahok games live as well as Blues and Cardinals games. LC's Pub, 605 North Main Street in Caseyville, right across the intersection from All Pro Tees. Call for carry-out orders at 618-855-9007 and on Facebook at LC's Pub. LC's Pub, Kahok fans' pub of choice. All Fluffed Up Grooming Salon in Caseyville is your go-to place to get that pampered treatment for your fur baby. All Fluffed Up offers one-on-one grooming sessions by skilled and professional groomers, focusing on a stress-free and fear-free experience for both pup and pup parent. Owned and operated by former Kahok Jenny Eves, All Fluffed Up in Caseyville offers nail trimming, ear cleanings, bathing, and fur trimming as well as full cuts. All Fluffed Up Grooming Salon in Caseyville, 16 East Reynolds Street. Call Jenny Eves for an appointment at 618-855-8533. Mobile grooming coming soon. That's All Fluffed Up in Caseyville, 618-855-8533. Looking for some unique food options, super cold drinks, and a fun atmosphere with an attentive staff? Look no further than Hurricanes Bar and Grill in Collinsville. Owned and operated by former Kahok State soccer champ Tim Johnson, Hurricanes has been one of the area's great meeting places for fun, food, live sports and music, and video gaming. Daily specials like Taco Tuesdays, Wing Wednesdays, and Fish Fridays. Hurricanes will tackle those hunger pains. Hurricanes is always open during all of Uptown Collinsville's Main Street festivals. Hurricanes is the place to satisfy your hunger and thirst needs. Hurricanes Bar and Grill, 222 West Main Street in Collinsville. Give them a call for carryout orders at 618-345-0846. 618-345-0846. Mike and Sarah's Produce in Collinsville is a one-stop destination for seasonal fruits, vegetables, and more. Located at 116 North Bluff Road, Mike and Sarah's Produce features fresh selections of your favorite fruits and veggies, from cherries, peaches, and watermelons to corn, tomatoes, and zucchini. You can find all of your produce needs at Mike and Sarah's.
Seasonal favorites such as pumpkins in the fall, summer peaches, spring asparagus, and more. Plus, Mike and Sarah's Produce is a go-to in the spring for flowered plants, hanging baskets, and a large selection of fresh seafood. Mike and Sarah's Produce, 116 North Bluff Road in Collinsville. Stop by today. Want to catch some of the best live music in Collinsville from a band of all local area residents? Look no further than Sonically Pleasing. Sonically Pleasing with Tim Carlisle, Jim Cason, Logan Carlisle, and Caleb Tanzius play some of the best rock and roll hits from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and beyond. You can catch Sonically Pleasing at some of the area's finest venues, as well as book Sonically Pleasing for your private event or party. To put some music in your life, it's Sonically Pleasing. Check out Sonically Pleasing's Facebook page for upcoming live show dates and to book them for your special event. Or call to book that event at 618-401-0052. Pleasing live rock music for your ears. Sonically Pleasing, 618-401-0052. That's 618-401-0052. Once again, we welcome you back here to the East Alton Ice Arena. My name is Todd Duke. Glad that you are with us here. And happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there as we're about ready to bring you some ice hockey here tonight. Collinsville versus Triad. Here are your starters. We'll begin with the Triad Knights. In goal, you will find Max Kadich. On the defensive side, you will find Jackson McFarland and Luke Ulrich. Your centerman is Zane Hildebrand. And then you have Landon Wells on the left wing and Will Gillis on the right wing. For Collinsville, Ezra Fryman gets the start in goal once again tonight. And your two defensemen, Jace Ferry, our first look at Jace on the year, plus Dylan Showmaker. Your centerman is Trevor Parker, and your wingers on the left side, Benjamin Klein, and on the right side would be David Hearn. Collinsville, the home team here tonight, so they're out there in their white jerseys and a little bit of purple all around. And we are about ready to go as we say once again a very good hello to our new color commentator, and that would be Brad Halbfleisch. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
I'd like to appreciate you for your service that you did, and everybody's service. I've had a lot of family members that have also been in the service.
Oh, right off the bat. How about that? Collinsville scores on a goal by David Hearn, his first of the year, and that, Brad, is how you like to get things started.
Well, yeah, that is definitely how you like to get things going.
13:39 left to go. Collinsville takes a 1-0 lead. And we are set for another faceoff. Now I got to get up and down again because I got to put the scoreboard going on here.
Yeah, well, like I said, I appreciate you for your service, and I appreciate everybody that's out there that's listening that participated in the military and our veterans. It's very nice to be able to say that to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to play down in the Collinsville end. Kahok's trying to get it out. They do a nice job of doing that. Ben Klein didn't waste any time once he got the puck. He got it back into the neutral zone. Collinsville trying to continue forward into the offensive side of things. And a very big thank you to our camera person. Did we switch camera people? I wasn't paying attention. I think we did. They had Lindsey Klein up here with Lisa Sutton supposed to be joining us. So big thank you to the parents who always fill out operating the camera here. There's a shot from the neutral zone. That one found a way and then almost in front. Got stuffed in over there by Nolan Duffy. And I tell you what, Kaidich, man, he just closed his pads just in time to prevent that one from going in. And now up against the boards on the far side and then swept back into the neutral zone. Triad trying to come down and tie this thing up. Here is Will Gillis. Gillis over into the corner. Had just one guy to beat, and that guy stood his ground and couldn't come up. Here come the Kahawks. They break out. Here is Kitstein. That would be Benjamin. He takes a shot. That was a save. And then the rebound belongs to Triad. They bring it out and shoot it up off the boards. That's off of the stick of Nolan Moore. Ends up going back around the Collinsville bench as Triad wants to change out a couple of players on their lines. Allen jumps right over the stick of Miles Carey, and then he'll turn around and fire one toward the net that never did make it. Blocked out over there by Ethan Lewis. Lewis had a goal in the game we did for you Thursday. There's a big turnover. Collinsville coming through the ice. One guy to beat. Kind of a little dipsy-doodle over there, but Evan Sutton wasn't able to get around the defender, and that was a nice play by Jackson McFarland over on the Triad side to prevent that from happening, because that was one step away from probably being a breakaway. Collinsville trying to keep it into the offensive zone. They can't. Triad bust out. Here they come. 2-on-2 right through the middle of the ice, and I thought we were going to maybe have a tripping call, but the referees, neither one of them put their arms up. So
that was a close one there.
It sure was. Well, it looked like a initial maybe a partial trip, but then he kept his feet, and then when he kept on going down the ice, he just slipped and fell. There was no trip. Over here onto the near side, right by our location, comes in, and in the high slot, a shot taken, and that goes off of the stick there of Jace Ferry and into the netting.
That was a good save.
11:01 left to go here in this first period. Collinsville up 1-0 on an early goal by David Hearn. Gets his first of the year.
It was a beautiful goal, too.
One of our seniors who we will hear from later. We have the game coming up on Thursday from the McKendree Recplex against O'Fallon, and we're going to start our senior interviews on that night, and that begins in numerical order. So Benjamin Klein will be the first one that we are going to interview. And Brad can't be here for that one. He's going to be out of town heading up to Minnesota.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to go to the christening of my daughter, my godchild.
Yeah.
So to speak.
That's important, man. Family,
yes,
family first. Family first always.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Play
sir.
comes out, and then it comes back over across the blue line, but Triad already had a player down there, and that player is limping off the ice is Mushayan, Eric. He'll limp over and climb the wall into the bench, as that one kind of stung. So the face-off right below where we are located here. Owen Stinnett, who didn't get to play in the game that we did for you back on Thursday night because he received a game misconduct in the season opener against Columbia. So you get a game misconduct here in the Mississippi Valley Club Hockey Association. You do not get to play in the next game. So they really missed their probably go-to goal scorer that's coming into this season after we had Eric Denny and Tanner Bettis graduate last year, along with Lincoln Duffy. Next in line as far as goals scored was Owen Stinnett. There's a shot for Collinsville, and that one just misses from Stinnett. He was in the low slot, and that one did everything but go in. All the way back out into the Collinsville end. Here, a giveaway by Kidstein. He retreats and gets the puck back, and then it's just kind of floating around there at the blue line. Collinsville trying to get it in. Nolan Duffy uses his body to do just that. Then a cross-ice pass that ends up finding Collinsville's defense. Here is Stinnett. Stinnett circles over into the wing and takes the shot. That's off of the shoulder of Kadich. And into the corner it goes. Picked up over there by Hildebrand for Triad, but unable to get it out. Stinnett doing a nice job of keeping it in. And the Collinsville junior taken for a ride. Back behind the Triad net. Puts on the brakes. Looking for some help up front in the slot. Nolan Duffy just hugging that post over there. There's a high slot opportunity. A shot. That one's partially blocked over by the Triad defense. I believe that was Kerry Miles that did that. Or Miles Carey, excuse me. Everything's backwards on these rosters. It's like being in the Army all over again. My name wasn't Todd Duke, it was Duke. Todd. Over on the far side, Stinnett digs the puck out, floats it over in the corner. Collinsville looking for someone to pass it to. That is Evan Sutton over there. And then back to the blue line it goes. Sutton will get it right back into the right face-off circle, trying for a cross-ice pass, but that never materialized. And now Collinsville will retreat into their own zone. First one there is Dylan Showmaker. Showmaker couldn't control the puck, so Triad, they'll take over. Perschbacher goes back behind the Collinsville bench, but lost control of the puck himself. And then is taken over in the corner, and here comes Evan Sutton. Sutton will get it out to Stinnett. Stinnett tries to go in between the legs there of Gillis, and it worked for a moment, but then it ricochets back onto the stick of McFarland. McFarland sweeps down right below our location, puts on a nice move, but not nice enough to get out of the way of Showmaker, and Collinsville comes back the other way. Here is Samuel Klein. Klein dumps it off behind him for Evan Sutton, but Evan Sutton couldn't continue.
That was a good drop pass, but it just didn't work out.
And a save by Fryman, and he took a look behind him. He didn't know exactly where it was, and luckily for him, it stayed in between the pads. That stops the clock with 7:43 left.
Mr. Miller, 55 of Triad, he had a good shift, but he also slashed, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But you know how that goes. It's not my opinion.
It's not your opinion that counts.
Yeah, exactly.
Collinsville coming
Now we
back.
go.
Here are the Kahawks. Oh, well, that was a pass that was intended for Samuel Klein as he was flying up into the high slot, but it never did reach him. That one goes all the way off the boards behind the goalie and then comes out over here onto the near side dasher boards. Lewis tries to keep it into the blue line. He can't.
Oh.
Collinsville sweeps it back in. Would have been offsides anyway, but because it was a bang-bang play, it wasn't called. Lewis will send it all the way up over onto the far side. That's Landon Mosby, the sophomore, who will send it back in. And then Kadich comes out to play it back behind his own net. Saved by Collinsville. They try to sweep it over here to Sutton, but it never did find its mark. Sutton will get a hold of it anyway after Kadich swept it out to the blue line, trying to find one of his guys, but never did. Lewis, he'll take a shot. That one flutters over everyone. And then back behind the Triad net, the Knights get a hold of it first. Here is Lewis. Lewis trying to sweep it back into the faceoff circle, but that was intercepted there by Ulrich. And now back over into the neutral zone we go. Triad will take it over. Right onto the stick of one of the Kahawk defenders. Back out front off of the boards. Nice pass to Sutton. Sutton, high slot shot. And that one goes up into the netting. After it was put up there by Kaddish. That was a nice series there by Collinsville.
Yeah, it was. They were really putting the pressure on. You know, they were forechecking great. Everything was going good until the puck came out of the zone.
Collinsville wins the faceoff. Back to the blue line it goes. Ferry tries to keep it up. Throws it up into the corner. Parker going to give it a chase, as is Hearn. Hearn already has the lone goal here in this first period as Collinsville leads 1-0. As Triad tries to clear, they can't. Here comes the Kahawks and a backhander. That was stopped by Kadich off of the stick of Ben Klein. And I think that Kadich got lucky that he was probably already on the ground and it just went right under his body.
Yeah. They kept it in the zone, and then they pressured the puck to the goal, and it made the goalie. It made the goalie freak out a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, it was offside.
There's Parker. Parker with a shot and a save by Kadich. Shoves that one over into the corner. Hearn trying to chase it down. He can't get there. Comes out to the blue line. Ferry, he sweeps it back in, and it ends up going back around the Triad net. Picked up there by Ian Evans for the Knights. He floats it out to the blue line, and it jumps over the stick of one of the Kahawk defenders back there, but Collinsville controls it anyway. And now back into their own end. Kahawks looking to break out and trying to do so. I believe that was Trevor Parker trying to come up and trying to. Oh, there's a shot that's off the crossbar. And it comes all the way back out for Miller. And the Kahawks once again will float back into their zone. A giveaway and a shot. That one never did reach the goaltender over there, Fryman. And into the corner it goes now for Rosenberg. Rosenberg sends it over here back to the blue line. Shot by Nolan Moore. That one's no good either. We're getting all kinds of stuff hit. That one goes just past this near side post. Over into the corner it goes. We got to force him over there trying to wrestle that puck away. Collinsville, they sweep it but doesn't get very far. And then all the way over and all the way around. That puck has a lot of juice on it if it goes across the line. Nope, they're going to wave off icing. Triad will go back to pick it up with 5 minutes left to go here in this first period. 1-0 in favor of Collinsville. There's a giveaway. Nolan Duffy comes in, shoots, and a save by Kadich, and then a return shot, and that one was shoved aside by Kadich as well.
Well, you know, Todd, I'm really loving the pressure that Collinsville's putting on. It's great because their forechecking is awesome. And not only that, they're passing and they're putting pucks into places that they need to. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So
face off between Blevins and Duffy, won by Collinsville. They sweep it around, shove it up front to the slot, but the only person that was there was wearing the wrong colors.
Yep.
As Collinsville goes back into their own end now. Triad trying to set up some kind of an offensive play here, but a nice play over there by Stinnett to keep that puck going in the right direction, but then somebody just shoved their stick out there and stopped that progress. Cold turkey, dude. Over into the corner it goes. Collinsville trying to track it down. Ethan Lewis banging his body around. He's a big kid for a junior. Here is Owen Stinnett. 2-on-1 on the left side. Stinnett, he'll take a shot. And then a shoulder save there, or an elbow save by Cottage. And then the loose puck comes out all the way through the neutral zone. Swept away, and then Kitstein. He'll find the handle on it and bring it back into the neutral zone. Across ice pass. Right onto the stick now of Ben Kitstein. A shot that never did get taken. A little poke check over there by Cottage, the goalie. Collinsville still dangerous, though, in front, and then it gets shot all the way around, and it's going to make its way all the way to Fryman. 3:40 left to play here in this first period. 1-0 in favor of Collinsville. Kahok's out shooting Triad right now, 14-5. Here is Stinnett once again. Stinnett and Sutton come in. Sutton in the face-off circle on the right side, takes a shot, shoved aside by Cottage. Stinnett, he finds the puck next, tries to shoot it back into the corner for Klein, but almost kind of whiffed on it, or partially whiffed on it, and just didn't get very far. Back to the neutral zone we go. Here is Ferry. Ferry.
All the way behind the net.
Circles back behind his own net, trying to play keep away, gives the puck away instead, and a shot and a save by Fryman, and that puck will end up going into the netting, and we're going to have a face-off just to the left of Ezra Fryman.
That was a good save. He made sure.
Bad giveaway, good save.
Yeah. And then that's just how it goes sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, these two teams are flying tonight.
Yeah, they're speeding.
Yeah.
They're going down the ice. They're skating. And that's a fact.
Collinsville wins another faceoff. Ferry gets it and shoots it all the way around the boards, but the first one to reach it is Luke Ulrich, but he gives it away. Collinsville, they poke it out into the neutral zone. Here come the Kahawks. Mosby up to Sutton. Sutton had it bounce off of his stick and never could control it. And the Kahawks were in the middle of a line change, so couldn't really get anything going on. And now the Triad Knights will come around. A nice little move there, and a shot and a save by Fryman off of a nice shot by Will Gillis. And then the loose puck staying back over into Triad side of things. Out to the blue line it comes to Evans. Evans takes a shot. That one was well wide of the far side post. Picked up there on the rebound by Gillis. Boy, Gillis is a big kid, man.
Yeah.
Number 57. Oh, and a shot and a goal. And that's one of those goals that you'd like to have back, as that one was just kind of swept on a backhander there by Perchbacher. And we are tied.
Well, that forecheck was, they were getting that forecheck down correct when it comes to hockey. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
They were. That's why they got that goal. It wasn't just a luck goal. It was the forecheck, and then the pass back out, and then the shot in, and then all you know how it goes around.
That's hockey for you.
Yeah, yes, sir.
There are the Kahawks once again. Trevor
Oh.
Parker with a nice steal. He takes a shot and another save down there by Cottage. Cottage has been busy. Collinsville out shooting them 16-8, but we are tied 1-1, and we have 2 minutes to go here in a very exciting first period. Kahawks shoot the puck all the way around the net. Kitstein over there to get it. That would be Anthony Kitstein. He'll send it up to Klein, and then back it goes to Kitstein. Kitstein, nice little pass off the boards there to Parker. Parker leaves it over in the corner for Klein, and then that goes off the ankles of one of the Triad players, and it'll go all the way down the ice.
Well, that forecheck for the Kahawks looked great for a minute there.
Yeah.
But they got to regroup and get back to it, and we'll see where it goes from there.
There's Trevor Parker in the high slot trying to get through some traffic. Can't do it. He's held up a little bit. Loose puck picked up by Triad. They'll shoot it off the boards right at their bench, and that's going to be icing. Woo. You know, after that game Thursday, man, I was sick on Friday, and all the residuals were still sticking around, man. I got this cough that won't go away. I got this nose that won't stop its production of you-know-what.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's been a pain in the butt is what it's been.
Oh.
That was a shot, and
Good
that
shot.
one shoved aside over there by Cottage. And back to the blue line, and a shot before anybody could get there. And that one never materialized and hit off a couple of people. Here's Jace Ferry with a couple of nice moves.
Good
and
dangles.
a redirect over there by Nolan Duffy, yeah. And that did everything but go in.
I know.
Loose puck in the neutral zone. Picked up for a moment by Ferry, but it ends up bouncing over his stick. Kitstein, he's in there, and that puck will go off the backboards right behind
Go back.
Fryman. And Triad, they're sticking to it down there. Here is Rosenberg. Rosenberg over to the far side, finds his buddy Carey. And Collinsville then takes it from there. Here is Owen Stennett. Stennett comes through the neutral zone quickly, tries to split the defense, didn't quite work out. And then that puck shoved over into the far side by Kadich. And it ends up going back behind the net. And Triad comes away with it with 19 seconds left to play here in this first period. Almost took the referee's head off with that shot, did Nolan Moore. Over into the far side corner it goes. Schomacher, he'll smack it up, and it's intercepted there by Triad, and a shot. That one goes a little bit wide of the near side post, and that is going to do it for period number 1. 1-1 after 1, and we have another exciting period of Kahok hockey coming up for you after we take a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network. Are you a collector of sports trading cards and other sports memorabilia? Then you need to check out Rippin' Rookies Cards and Collectibles in Collinsville. Rippin' Rookies specializes in sports cards from all the major sports, MLB, NBA, NFL, plus Star Wars cards and more. Rippin' Rookies buys, sells, and trades cards and other memorabilia, and they have a large selection of single and graded cards. Walk-ins at Rippin' Rookies are welcome, or you can set up an appointment for large collections at sales@rippinrookies.com. Rippin' Rookies, 102 East Clay Street in the Old Herald Complex. Open Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., Sundays, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Rippin' Rookies, Collinsville sports card and memorabilia destination. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Jason Regg, your Benjamin F. Edwards financial advisor, understands this. That's why Jason Regg is a proud supporter of your Collinsville Kahawks and the Kahok Sports Network, as well as the Kahok Educator of the Month Award. For all of your investment needs, see financial advisor and investment vice president Jason Regg at the Benjamin F. Edwards office in Collinsville, located at 1008 Vandalia Street, or call Jason Regg at 618-223-5215 or visit benjaminfedwards.com. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC. Back here at the East Alton Ice Arena, Todd Duke and Brad Kalbfleisch with you. We are glad that you are with us here on the Kahok Sports Network on a Tuesday night. Temperature is warmed up to about 60 today. We're supposed to be at almost 80 by the time Saturday goes around. You know what they say about St. Louis area weather. If you don't like it, wait 5 minutes. Well, we're going to wait 5 more minutes, and then it's going to get warm again.
I just want to say happy Veterans Day to everybody out there. It's the veterans. We really appreciate your service.
Yes, we do. Collinsville out shooting Triad in that first period, 20-8. But we are tied 1-1. Been some nice saves down there by Max Kadich as we switch into the ice. And now Kadich is to your left, to your right. Fryman is to your left as play takes place right down here below us. And then shoved down into the Triad zone. Triad's Luke Ulrich chases it down, and he'll send it up right onto the stick of his buddy Lennon Gilliman, and a shot and a save over there by Fryman.
Oh, that was a big hit right there.
Big hit.
Big hit.
Here is Sutton. Sutton comes in over on the right wing. He's got some company over there. There's 3 Triad Knights over there, and now he'll just shove it over to the far corner. And Jackson McFarland takes over and tries to send it out. He can't. And then Collinsville will give it up once again, and a shot and a save by Fryman. And the rebound comes all the way out. Looks like we're going to have our first penalty coming up, and it's going to belong to Collinsville. We're going to have a penalty called against Ethan Lewis, I believe.
Yeah, I believe it's number 10.
Yeah, a little hack on the wrist there with the stick. And
number 11.
Ethan Lewis is going to go to the penalty box.
Well, we'll see how Collinsville's penalty kill can do here.
Did a pretty good job against Freeburg Waterloo that night. There was 5 total penalties in that game, and not 1 power play scored.
Yeah, that is correct.
Let's hope that Collinsville can keep up their penalty kill. Matter of fact, in that first game against Columbia, 73 penalty minutes were handed out, and every goal in that game was an even strength goal. So Collinsville has not given up a power play goal yet this year, and we hope that can stay the same. Triad trying to go to work with the man advantage here. Still a minute 40 left in the Lewis penalty. And Parker will wrestle the puck away, and he'll shoot it on down the ice.
That was a good dump.
Yep, relieve the pressure on the power play. That's exactly what you need to do.
Yes, sir, especially on a penalty kill.
12:21 left to go here in this second period. We're just underway in period number 2. That's going to be an icing call against Triad while they have the man advantage. You don't like to do that.
That's kind of crazy. You don't like to do that at all, sir. Not
so
at
the
all.
face-off will come down to the right of Max Kadich. And it'll be Owen Stinnett against Aston Blevins. And Triad wins that face-off. And they bring it up, and a little company coming up there, and a backhand goal never did materialize for Perschbacher. Perschbacher has the goal that tied things up here after Hearn scored to open up the scoring here just about a minute and 20 seconds into this contest. Collinsville will get the puck and shoot it all the way back down again, relieving more of that pressure. Under a minute to go on the Triad power play. Knights with it. They try to bring it out, and they do so into the neutral zone. Here is Luke Ulrich. Ulrich brings it across the line, dumps it off, and a shot, and that one's off one of the Kahok sticks and goes into the netting and did not come back onto the ice, so that's on the other side of the wall. And they'll have to bring out a new puck, which they do, and we're going to have some more penalty action called here as Klein gets called.
Well, I was going to say that they were doing a great job of killing the penalty, but then they get another penalty.
Yeah.
Which is very sabotaging.
Yeah, it's
5
on 4
Yep.
for another 43 seconds for Triad.
Yeah.
5 on 3, excuse me.
5 on 3, yeah.
So now Collinsville really has to watch what they do out here as they are 2 men short. Back to the blue line it goes. And a shot and a save by Fryman. Collinsville's Jace Ferry finds the rebound and sends it all the way down the ice. That's huge.
Oh.
Still 25 seconds left to go in the 2-man advantage here for Triad. And the Knights look to bust it out quickly. The only one back trying to disrupt that is Stinnett. And he's still over there trying to pick up that puck and dislodge it and waste some time in the process.
Put the pressure on as much as I can.
Only 5 seconds left. And Triad takes a shot. Fryman makes a nice save. And now Lewis is out of the box. So 1 down, 1 to go. Lewis will head to the bench. Nolan Duffy will come on. McFarland has the puck for Triad all the way back to the blue line. That's off of the shins of Stinnett. And Collinsville, they held their own there
5 on 4, baby.
during the 43-second 2-man advantage for Triad. And now the Knights will shoot it back into the Collinsville zone. Schumacher, he gets there first. Still 50 seconds left to go in the Klein penalty, or Kittstein penalty, excuse me.
You know what, Todd? I think this game's going to come down to controlling the puck.
Yeah.
And
staying out of the penalty box.
Yes. And Triad hasn't been in. They have not been in the penalty box at all.
Nope.
But we have, and we or the Kahawks have, and we've killed our penalties.
Well, we killed one. We still have 44 seconds left to go on the Kittstein penalty. As Triad looking to sweep this puck out of the neutral zone, they do get a hold of it, and they'll head back into the Collinsville end. And going a little bit wide, trying the old sneak around, and I think it goes off of Lewis's skate and into the goal, and Triad takes their first lead of this game.
Well, it looks like I spoke too soon. I probably shouldn't have said that.
And that was a goal by Aston Blevins, a power play goal. So Triad does pick up a power play goal. First power play goal given up by Collinsville on the year. And it is now 2-1 in favor of Triad. I'm trying not to step on my cord. I have to stand up here because if I don't, I'll stand up down here and my head will be in the picture.
Right.
Nobody wants to see the back of my head. Over into the near side corner it goes. Collinsville now trailing by 1. Another shot by Triad, and that one shoved aside a little bit there by Fryman. I think he got a piece of clothing on it. That was about all. And that'll stop the clock with 9:43 left. Collinsville outshot Triad 20-8 in that first period, but Collinsville looking for their first shot here in the second period. Meanwhile, the Knights have had 5 more shots, and they've scored a goal. Face-off will come out to the right of Fryman. And what is he telling him to do? We telling him he's got to go back, or they're going to kick him out. Okay. They are kicking out Lake and Rosenberg from the face-off dot, and instead they bring it out after the face-off win there by Collinsville, and the Kahawks having a hard time breaking it out of the neutral zone as that puck banks off a couple of skates and a couple of sticks, and then still trying to find the skate there of Ben Klein, and then it comes out to the face-off circle. Collinsville's Klein takes it over from there and brings it into the offensive zone. Moves around one defender and didn't find a nice angle there, so he comes out wisely, sends it over to Lewis. Lewis will shove it into the corner. Trying to chase it down over there is Trevor Parker. He couldn't get there. Lewis trying to pinch in from his defensive spot. Now finds Parker. Parker into the left side face-off circle. Couldn't find any avenue to Romo. A centering pass right in front, but unable to get there. Here is Kitzstein with a shot. Hoping for a redirect up there by Hearn, but that one ended up going right to Kadich, and he makes the save.
Unfortunately, that was a little bit of sloppy play. It was all over the place. Everybody was flabbergasted on how to go around and roundabout, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just is what it is. They'll eventually get there.
8:54 left to play here in the second period. There's Collinsville. They kind of break it out of there, but there really wasn't a lot of room for Sutton to move, so he has to kind of skirt around there in no man's land. And now the Triad Knights bring it in, but a bad pass attempt there. Collinsville takes over. They send it back to the neutral zone, but Triad sweeps it away, but Collinsville trying to chase it down. Over into the face-off circle. Here is Klein. Oh, that one comes out front. No one home. Closest one there was Evan Sutton, and he couldn't get there. Cut off by one of the Triad players. Here is Perschbacher. Perschbacher shoves it up over into the corner, and then it comes to the side of the net. Fryman thought about closing that glove down on it, but then one of his teammates got a hold of it. Kahawks bring it out, and a stretch pass coming up here, and a backhand, no good. Comes out for Sutton. Sutton with a shot. That goes high over the net and comes all the way back out toward the blue line. Showmaker trying to keep it in. Gets the puck up to Sam Klein, but Klein couldn't keep it in. Blevins, he'll send it across to Parschberger. Parschberger was covered closely there by Evan Sutton. No room to move, and then a shot from the high slot. And somehow or another, Fryman got a piece of that, and it ended up going wide of the goal. And then another chance up front, and trying that one-timer there was Will Gillis. Collinsville breaks it out. Here is Klein, moves the puck up to Duffy. Nolan, he'll send it all the way down the boards, trying to chase it down. And he couldn't get there ahead of McFarland. McFarland sweeps it all the way out, and that one icing is waved off. And then back behind the net, here is Rosenberg. Rosenberg sends it out to Ulrich. Ulrich with a shot and a glove save by Fryman. That'll stop the clock with 7:14 left to play here in this second period.
That was a great glove save. It was a good glove save.
Collinsville has finally got some tallies here as far as shots on goal in the second period. Kahawks still out shooting Triad 23-15. But the one part of the scoreboard that is not in Collinsville's favor is the score. 2-1 in favor of Triad. Here is Owen Stinnett and Reed Miller in the face-off circle, and that one goes right to Fryman, and Fryman will just cover it up, and we'll do it all over again.
It was smart of him to freeze the puck there. He had a Triad player right in front of the net, so it was smart of him to do that.
Now Triad wants to make one player change, and Stinnett wins that face-off, goes right to Fryman again, but this time Fryman will swat it back over to Stinnett. Now Nolan Duffy will come up with the puck, and he'll survey things with his head up and trying to head out of his own end. Then he gets kind of tripped over the blue line is what he did, and then it comes back into the neutral zone, and here is Owen Stinnett again. Stinnett trying to find Duffy, but Duffy wasn't ready for the pass, and it comes out, hops over Stinnett's stick as well, and that one's going to be offside. Collinsville will have to get out of the zone, which they do. 6:40 to go. Oh, and a giveaway. Oh. Here's Nolan Duffy. Duffy with a shot to score.
That's a goal, baby.
Oh, big goal there by Nolan Duffy to tie things up.
That's Dangles and Snipes.
Dangles and Snipes. I like that.
He got in there. He got in there.
So Nolan gets his second goal of the year. And Collinsville has tied this game up at 2 apiece.
Oh boy, Duffy. Way to get in there.
Unassisted goal, because that one was just given to him by one of the Triad players.
Yeah, they pretty much gave him a gift.
Yep, sure did. And Duffy knew exactly what to do with it. He was patient with it, brought it from forehand to backhand, and then Kadich bit. And then the goal was pretty much wide open for Duffy, and he didn't miss. Over in front of the Kahawks bench, a little scrum going on over there. 2 players from each side trying to get that puck unpinned. They finally do. Lewis will get it, and he'll send it all the way down into this near side corner. Picked up there by Triad.
That was before the red line, so we don't got no icing.
Yeah, it was close.
It was very close.
Back behind the net it goes. Parker trying to chase it down. He can't get there. Kittstein, he'll pinch in from his defensive spot and send it into the corner. Now Parker takes over. He'll take a shot, and that one shoved aside by Kadich.
We got somebody down in the corner.
Yeah, that is Anthony Kittstein.
It looks like he was bleeding. He reached up to his face and
probably checking for blood, but I don't see any blood on the ice.
I don't think it's a penalty as well either.
No, I don't. It doesn't look like it.
So it just looked like he went down and he grabbed his face. So hopefully he's all right.
Stops the clock with 5:51 left to play here in this second period. We are tied 2-2. Collinsville out shooting Triad 25-16. As the Triad players will go head to the bench, and Collinsville being checked on by one of the assistant coaches. That is Anthony Kittstein, the freshman.
He looks like he's all right. He's just a little shaken up.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a stick to the face, it's kind of hard sometimes. I'm sure, you know. He's just going to take it looks like he's going to take a seat on the bench and.
Oh yeah, he'll regroup.
Yeah,
got to recompose, and I'm sure he'll be back out there. How much you want to bet?
I guarantee he will.
Hockey players are tough, man.
He's a trooper.
Yeah.
So.
Up against the boards.
I'm excited to see him back out there.
Into the corner it goes. Another couple of bodies go flying into the boards. Collinsville, Parker, he'll get there. He'll flip it in the crowd. Heads up. That's the student body cheering section down there. They do almost everything but watch the game.
I know. I'm sorry if I hurt your ears. I'm used to yelling heads whenever I see the puck go out.
I don't blame you.
You know what I mean?
Yep. 5:29 left to play here in the second period in a 2-2 game. Faceoff goes all the way down into the Triad end. Ulrich takes it out, and to the neutral zone go the Triad Knights. They bring it up. That is Moose again. And a a pass that never did really get to where it was going. A loose puck that was shot by Triad, but well wide. And the Kahawks trying to push it back down, and they kind of overskate the puck, but that's a nice play over there by Collinsville's Landon Mosby, and then he takes a hit into the corner, and the puck comes out. Back to the blue line it goes. Schumacher couldn't keep it in. Here comes Blevins for Triad. He's got some speed. He'll take an off-balance shot, or an off-angle shot, and the rebound belongs to Collinsville. Kahawks bring it back up, but not out. Blevins will find it again, and a shot was partially deflected. Over to the far side boards it goes, and it's picked up there by Owen Stinnett. Stinnett then overskates the puck. And now Kadich, he looked like he almost tripped over the net trying to go for that one.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
It looks like Collinsville's tired right now.
I'm sure they're both tired at this point. 4:20 left to play here in this second period. Here is Nolan Duffy. Duffy just scored the tying goal. Comes out for the puck. Makes a nice move, but Collinsville couldn't quite continue that forward progress. And it comes back to Jace Ferry. That's off of a Triad stick. That's how Collinsville scored their goal, off of one of those. And then in the neutral zone, pops up into the air. A little skate to stick by Stinnett. Over to Kittstein. Kittstein sends it back into the slot area with a backhander, but no one home for Collinsville to get any kind of a shot on goal. Oh, a nice hip check over there in the corner, and there you go. Anthony Kittstein back onto the ice after being injured. He makes his presence felt almost immediately, and then he does it again, shoving the biggest guy on the ice into the glass. 3:30
Wow.
left to play here
Wow.
in the second period. And Kitstein, he's come out on fire, man.
Uh-oh, we got a breakaway
There
now.
is Stinnett, and a shot, and a
Go,
goal! And the
baby.
Kahawks retake the lead
Go.
on a goal by Owen Stinnett.
That was very good by what was his name?
Owen Stinnett.
Yeah, Stinnett. That was a good breakaway goal, and then the injured player.
Yeah,
what was-
Kitstein.
Yeah, he came out and he hammered some people.
Man, you ain't kidding.
He really
He took
like
on the biggest guys on the ice.
Yeah, those were colossal hits. They were big hits. It wasn't just minor hits. He actually came back out and he did what he needed to do.
Oh, yeah. What in the world?
And I believe those hits actually set up the goal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It was, oh.
Whistle on the play, stops the clock with exactly 3 minutes left to play here in this second period. We're back with you tomorrow, but we're going to be at Camelot. Well, I'm going to be at Camelot Bowl. Brad's not. Collinsville Kahawks open the home schedule with a little Southwestern Conference action against the O'Fallon Panthers. We'll be on the air around 3 o'clock. Bowling will follow from there. And then Thursday, more hockey action coming your way. Here is Triad coming in. A shot, and that was kicked aside. And now Duffy trying to track that puck down. He'll go into the corner and pick it up. 2:45 left to play here in the second period. Sweep the puck all the way around. Here is Kitstein.
Oh.
That is Benjamin Kitstein. Gets it on up to the stick of Nolan Duffy. Duffy puts on, that is Stinnett. I saw the 7, I didn't see the 1. And now into the corner it goes, and back up against the wall. Triad will get it out, puts on a nice move. Does McFarland, and McFarland will skate it all the way through the zone, being smashed there by Duffy.
Yeah, he was chopping at him.
He was. He didn't get body, though. He got stick all the way.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's
Kitstein
good
will send
there.
the puck all the way around the boards, but Triad keeps it in. Here is Moore. Moore will send it on down for Perschbacher. Perschbacher trying to find an avenue for a pass. Can't really find one, and Collinsville will come away with it. Here is Anthony Kitstein. Kitstein will sweep it all the way down the ice. Owen Stinnett trying to chase it down. Kadich back there will send it back out to the half boards. Another turnover. Here is Duffy. Duffy, backhand save by Kadich.
That was a good save.
In front again and swept in almost by Owen Stinnett. And Schomacher. And a shot that's going to go into the netting, and that'll stop the clock with 1:30 left to play here in period number 2.
That was a good save. He got his blocker up there, and he turned around and he got it. It was a good save.
Sure was. We have had end-to-end action in this game since it got going.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Face-off comes into the neutral zone. It'll be Parker versus Wittenberg, and that was won by Triad. They'll send it up into the Collinsville zone, but it's going to trickle all the way back toward Fryman, and then Schomacher almost misplayed the puck. And then Schomacher will come out, bank it off the boards. That one will go all the way through. And here is Kadich. He'll come all the way out halfway. And we're going to have a penalty coming up, and Sutton might be going to the box. And he is. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Are you supposed to get out of the way of the goalie when he comes down that far?
See. My opinion is I don't know about that. He came all the way out to almost the blue line.
Yeah.
So what are you supposed to do if you're skating for the puck?
Yeah, you're going for the puck.
Yeah,
He's going for the puck. You
can't-
got to keep your ground.
Yeah, and honestly, personally, me, I would have probably ran into him too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say he hit him. He ran into him.
It's not like he hit him while he was in the crease.
Yeah.
I don't understand
That's
that call at
crazy.
all. That should have
That's
been a no call.
Yeah.
There's a chance for Triad, and swept away at the last moment there by Ferry. Collinsville will get it all the way down. This is the third power play here for Triad. They've already scored on one. They did not score on the 2-man advantage, but after the first player came back out onto the ice, they did score with the remaining time on the 5-on-4. So here they go again. Here is Carey. Carey sends it back to the blue line. Picked up there by Collinsville.
That's a
Ben
good
Klein
dump.
will sweep it all the way down.
It's a good dump.
30 seconds left to go here in the second period. And here comes Triad through the neutral zone. Here once again is McFarland. McFarland through the left faceoff dot. Sends it all the way back around behind the net. Comes out, very patient. And will float one up. That'll bounce over the stick of Carey. Comes all the way back out for Ulrich. Ulrich with a shot that goes right into the glove of Fryman, and it'll stop the clock with 6.3 seconds left to play here in this second period. 57 seconds left to go here in this power play. So
that was a good save.
We get past this 6.3 seconds. The rest of that power play is going to carry over into the next period.
Unfortunately, but that was a good save.
Yeah. He saw it the whole way.
Yeah.
And when a goalie can see the puck.
He wasn't blocked
When
at
a
all.
goalie can see the puck the whole way, he can usually make the save. Collinsville trying to poke it out. They just can't. And right at the end of the period, Triad just didn't have enough time to continue. So that's going to do it for period number 2. Period number 3 will come your way after a timeout here on the Kahok Sports Network. The choices you make to celebrate the life of your loved one should be as special as the person they represent. That's why you will always find the staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville ready to go the extra mile to meet the needs of you and your family during those times. For over 100 years, Her Funeral Home has been there for Collinsville and the surrounding communities. Of the many arrangements made after losing a loved one, the first is the selection of a funeral home. The staff at Her Funeral Home in Collinsville can help with that planning. Call Her Funeral Home in Collinsville at 618-344-0187. Her Funeral Home, serving Collinsville families for over 100 years. 618-344-0187. Is it finally time to start doing what you've been talking about doing for years? Start making those plans right now and let Northwestern Mutual help you plan your future. Former Kahok Joe Philpott can help you get started with that plan today. Joel Philpott, a financial advisor with Northwestern Mutual, can help build a plan specifically for you with a wide range of financial options and the flexibility to change that plan as your priorities change. To get started on your future, give Joel Philpott a call today at Northwestern Mutual's Fairview Heights office at 618-606-2022. Spend your life living with Northwestern Mutual. Call Joel Philpott today, 618-606-2022. Once again, we welcome you back here to the East Alton Ice Arena. Todd Duke and Brad Kabelfleisch with you, as well as Lisa Sutton on the camera for us tonight. And unfortunately for Collinsville, at the end of that second period, Jace Ferry decided to shoot the puck into the goal after both teams were heading to the bench. That is a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and that is a 5-on-3 power play goal. And now, once again, we are tied at 3-3. That's unfortunate, man.
Well, it's very unfortunate because you're winning, and it's after the fact of the penalty or the period being over.
Yeah.
So it's you just got to be smarter than that.
I didn't see who scored the goal though.
I didn't see who scored the goal either. It was from like.
Oh yeah, it was from the blue line, and it's just one of those unfortunate things.
Yeah, it was a lucky bounce for them.
Second power play goal of the night, and by the way, that unsportsmanlike conduct penalty handed out to Jace Ferry was a double minor, so he's still in the penalty box for another 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Well, when I first looked up, they had 2 minutes on there, but they changed it into a 4-minute penalty.
Yeah, did he draw blood?
I don't think so. He just shot the puck into the empty net.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessary. But
no, I don't think that was necessary at all.
Unless he said some things on his way to the bench after he did it. Once they called him for the penalty, and he probably chirped too hard at the referees, and they gave him another one.
Well, when I took my headphones off, that's what I heard. I heard a little bit of chirping, but
yeah.
I don't know which side of it came from, but that's just how hockey goes sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
Unfortunately, we're taking downfall at this point in time.
Yep, 5-on-4, but we are tied 3-3.
Yeah.
And we're just underway here in this third period. Remember, there is another game after this, so you have to pay attention to the time. I know we got started a little bit late, and it's already almost 8:30, so They might shave some time off of this third period, so it would behoove Collinsville to, number one, kill this penalty. Number two, find a way to score another goal. But right now, first things first, you got to kill a penalty, and that's a nice job there. Jayhawks get it. Here's Owen Stinnett coming in short-handed. Comes all the way up the right side, and then he'll get taken out of the play. No call. And then Triad will come away with the puck, and Stinnett caught down the ice, but Collinsville, a couple of players run into each other right at the face-off circle here at mid-ice.
Open ice hit.
And then a shot that goes wide of the near side post off of the stick of Aston Blevins. Blevins will get it right back and send it all the way around. Collinsville will get a hold of it and send it all the way out. That'll relieve some of that power play time. And taking over from there is Nolan Moore. Moore will come all the way out, skate right in front of his bench, and then head right in front of the Kahok bench, and he'll take a shot, but it's going to be an offside shot. And that'll come back out into the neutral zone for a face-off.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, it seems like the tension's growing more and more in this game. It's getting more and more violent in a sense, you know what I mean? It's
at the end of that second period, Collinsville had outshot Triad 28-20, which means that Triad outshot Collinsville in that second period 12-8.
Wow.
Back behind the Triad net it goes. Knights come away with it. And then through the neutral zone, Klein, he'll find it first. He'll send it right back down there. A little bit of a tip by Ulrich to his goalkeeper, Kadich, and that was a little hairy if you're a Triad Knight fan. And then coming through the neutral zone, here are the Knights. Another shot. That one goes high and wide over the head of Fryman and comes out to the mid-dasher boards, taken over there once again by Carey. Collinsville takes a advantage of Carey blowing a tire there. And here is Ben Klein. Klein brings it all the way back down into the Triad end. Still 50 seconds left to go here in the double minor to Jace Ferry. And that will stop the clock.
They're doing a good job of killing this power play so far.
Yeah.
I mean, for a 4-minute power play, them to kill it this much is a very good thing. That doesn't mean that something won't happen.
Yeah, well, it's still 52 seconds left to go in the man advantage here, so we're not out of the woods yet there, buddy.
Yeah.
Over on the far side, Lewis will get it, and Lewis will send it all the way down the ice, and Kadich has to be very aware of what's going on there and came down and made sure that puck didn't go any farther than him. Out to the blue line it goes. Gillis, he tried to send one up, but that was blocked off of the skates of Duffy. Now McFarland, he'll send one in all the way down into the near side corner. He'll chase after it and throws one in front. Well, luckily for Collinsville, no one was there, and now we're going to have another penalty. Lewis is going to go off with a cross check right to the back of Jackson McFarland, and Collinsville is going to be shorthanded once again, and we're going to have another 5-on-3. This one's going to last for 23 seconds.
Well, it's hard to win games when you keep going down like this, but
I'm telling you.
Hopefully they can kill it.
Well,
that's all I can say.
Lewis should watch his P's and Q's there and not do those kinds of things and wouldn't have to worry about it. So another 5-on-3 opportunity here for Triad. 15 seconds left to go, and Fryman makes a save.
What a save.
And then we'll reach out the glove hand and smother it up to stop the clock.
He sure laid down.
10 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the third.
He was sprawled all the way out.
Face-off.
They're going right back to it.
Yeah, face-off will come out to Fryman's left. Collinsville wins it over into the corner, but Kahok's unable to clear the puck out of there, and then a shot that was off of the pad on the left leg by Fryman. Now it comes out front dangerously, and here is Owen Stinnett. Stinnett just looking to waste some time. Puts on a couple of nice moves and then lost the puck. Triad, they'll bring it back the other way. And they are offside, and the 5-on-3 is over. But we still have another minute and 28 left to go in the penalty to Ethan Lewis. Collinsville wants to change out some players. They probably got some tired penalty killers out there. 5-on-4 hockey now for Triad, and Triad wins the faceoff. Gillis will sweep it into the zone, but Collinsville will track it down and then send it down through the neutral zone and into the Triad zone. Parker trying to chase it down over there, but he couldn't get there. And now McFarland will come out with it.
That was good defensive play right there.
Yeah. Over to Ferry. Ferry, he'll lift
That's
a
good.
high hoister all the way down.
Good dump. Good
1
dump.
minute to go in the power play here for Triad. That is their 5th power play of the night. They've scored 2 goals on their power plays. One of them on a 5-on-3. And over to the far side it goes, and a smother job over there by Fryman as that one hits him right in the breadbasket.
That was definitely he knew where the puck was coming. So I'm glad he was over there to be able to make that save.
Yeah.
Besides that, I'm glad that they killed that 5-on-3 to get it to 5-on-4.
Yeah.
As well. But on top of it, it's not over. You still got to keep going. You got to keep pushing.
Yep.
It's time.
There is McFarland. 30 seconds left to go in the man advantage here for Triad. Triad skates into the zone, but that was stopped momentarily, and then a backhand shot that was saved by a knee of Fryman. And then it comes back out, and a shot, and a goal. And that one was scored by Wittenberg, and we are tied no longer.
Well, unfortunately, the pressure was just put on too much.
Yeah.
It was, you go from 5-on-3 to 5-on-4. It's just too much.
Yep.
Sometimes.
I agree.
So you can't blame yourself. You just got to get your head back in the game, and you got to keep digging now because it's even strength. Now you got to go get that goal back.
That's exactly what you have to do, man. And you need to get it back quickly with 8:38 left to play here in this third period, and the possibility of the referee shaving off some time here. And there's a shot and another goal. Oh, boy. Just like the other night against Freeburg-Waterloo, when it rains, it pours.
Well, unfortunately, that was a very nice shot, and it was a very good goal. But at the same point in time, it's not very humbling when you go down by a couple goals, and then now all of a sudden you feel this type of way, and now the momentum shifts.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's a pride thing. You know.
Well, 5-3. That goal was scored by Lennon Gilliman. Now Collinsville down by 2 goals. And you are right. That momentum has definitely switched sides of the ice here. Comes down to the near side corner. Klein will get there first. He'll backhand it back into that corner, and then he'll go chase it down. So Collinsville, with their backs to the wall once again, playing a game of chase as they chase the lead. As Triad has scored 3 straight goals here in this third period. One of those, a power play goal, a 5-on-3 power play goal, and then the other one just a regular power play. And the last goal came just 12 seconds after the goal that made it 4-3.
It's icing.
So they come in bunches. They wave off icing off of the wall, and it comes up for Sutton. Sutton couldn't continue with it. And here comes Triad once again. They'll send it through the neutral zone, but Collinsville and Kittstein will get there first. They'll send it up to Stennett. Stennett will backhand it, and Kadich will go chase it down. He'll send it all the way up the boards, and a teammate will get it from there through the neutral zone. Nice poke check there by Owen Stennett. Comes onto the stick of Jace Ferry. Ferry will stick it back up onto the stick of Stennett, and then he tried to do a little too fancy of a move there and then lost control of the puck. So Triad, they'll bring it down once again. Here is Blevins. Blevins into the corner, gets thrown up against the boards by Ferry. Ferry puts his stick in the way. Collinsville will take care of that loose puck, and they'll bring it up. Here is Nolan Duffy, who has a goal here tonight. He'll take a shot. That one's off of the body of Ian Evans for Triad, and will go right in front of the Triad bench. Collinsville gets it once again. Here is Evan Sutton. Sutton back at the blue line, gives to Ferry. Ferry with a shot. That one almost trickled through. That one hit Owen Stennett, and Stennett hit him while he was trying to jump out of the way. 6:40 to go here in this third period. Collinsville still out shooting Triad, have been this whole game, but it's gotten closer, 34-30. And that puck trickles right to Kadich, and he'll cover it up, and that will stop the clock with 6:28 left to play here in this third period.
Well, they've been playing good offense, and they've been putting the forecheck down, and they've been doing everything that they need to do, but it's not working out for them right now. It's going to come down to a point to where they have to tell their goalie.
Yeah, but you don't know when you're going to be able to do that because you really don't know if these guys are going to take time off of this clock yet. And you don't want to pull him with 6:20 left.
Yeah, exactly.
If you knew that they were going to take 4 minutes off of it, you probably would. But those are things that you just don't know. Schomacher with a chance, and that one popped up off of Kadich and stayed in the air for a long time. And then Triad trying to come in and rustle the puck away. Collinsville gets there first. They send it back to the blue line, but not out. Triad will keep it in. They'll sweep it over onto the far side there for Perschbacher. Perschbacher, he got taken off of the puck, but he finds a way to get it back in the middle of 3 Kahawks. He'll do that. And he'll continue back around the net, tries to reap around, never quite made it. And then it'll be covered up by Fryman, and that'll stop the clock with 5:42 left to play here in this third period.
That was a good save on the backhand.
Well, the last game we had in this game, Collinsville had their chances and just haven't been able to finish. And telling you what, staying out of that penalty box was key because Collinsville hasn't been able to do that tonight. East Alton, Wood River, and Highland are waiting in the wings to take the ice after this one's all said and done. The Bulldogs against the Oilers. Here is Owen Stinnett. Stinnett puts on the brakes over in the far side corner, reverses direction, sends it over to Klein. Collinsville trying desperately to get it out of their own end because you can't score a goal from all the way down here, that's for sure. Not unless the net is empty. That one's going to roll down the ice. They're going to call icing. And they'll stop the clock with 5:15 left to play here in this third period.
You know what? I really like their jerseys, the Kahawks jerseys. Yeah. There's something special. I wish I had one.
Yeah, I hear you. And Collinsville will take care of the faceoff. They'll send it up to Nolan Duffy. Duffy puts on a good move. He's got Sutton coming up, and he decides to shoot it. Sutton was coming up this left side. He had a defenseman right behind him, so probably a wise idea there by Duffy to go ahead and shoot that puck. That'll stop the clock with 5:06 left to play here in this third period.
Well, the goalie was squared away. That's a hard angle at that point in time.
Yeah.
For you to score a goal there. But I understand the judgment.
Faceoff will come out to the left of Kadich. It'll be Kitstein versus Blevins. And they just took my time off the clock. So we went from 5:06 to 2 minutes left. So Collinsville will have to score twice in 2 minutes. Over into the far side it goes. And Triad, they'll get a hold of it and send it all the way up ice for Blevins. Blevins hit over there by Sutton. Sutton trying to wrestle that puck away. Or excuse me, that is Anthony Kitstein over there. Now it comes out to Hearn. Hearn scored a goal just about a minute 20 into this contest, and Collinsville was off and running, but things have gone Triad's way since then.
You think if they control the puck, I believe they're going to pull the goalie.
They control the puck now, and they'll bring it in, and a sweep that goes just a little bit wide here of this near side. No movement from the bench left yet to call Fryman off. As I'm taking a look over at the coaches every once in a while here to see what they want to do, but not doing anything as of yet. Here is Kitstein. He can't control the puck. He'll go down. We have 1 minute to go here in period number 3. Kitstein sends the puck up ice, but not far enough for anyone to think about pulling the goalie now, as that one will go all the way down. They'll wave off icing just over the red line it was, and we're down to the final 45 seconds. Here is Kitstein. Kitstein will send it up to the neutral zone. Here is Stinnett. Stinnett will come in from the dot. Takes a pass this time, trying to find Sutton, who was coming in. Another chance was thrown in front, but that one was intercepted by Triad. Now the puck will go in to the Triad bench, and we will have a face-off deep down into the Triad end. So if you want to pull your goalie, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, that's the time I would pull my goalie, but
28.2 seconds left.
he looks pretty comfortable sitting over there. So I'm not sure if they're gonna pull him.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Collinsville will win the faceoff, but then lose it right afterwards. Comes all the way out to the neutral zone. Ferry, he'll track it down first, and then he lost the puck. Found it just in time. Now it's a 3-on-2 possibility, and that one will go into the netting and stop the clock with 15.9 to play here in this third period.
I think he lost sight of the puck because the way he was skating, he couldn't see it when it went behind him. Besides that, yeah, it's not looking too good for the Kahawks right now.
Yep. We have another game. Well, we don't. There's another game right after this, so no post-game show tonight, because we will have to pack up and clear the stands because these people don't waste any time. Once the fans of Triad and the Kahawks move out, the fans for East Alton, Wood River, and Highland will move in, and they'll give you the old stink eye because you're in their way.
Yeah, that's for sure.
That's going to do it. Brad, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
You have a nice trip up to Minnesota, and we'll see you next week when we have some more hockey.
Yes, sir.
All right, that is Brad Kalbleich, and I am Todd Duke. That's going to do it for us tonight. Collinsville loses this one here tonight by a final score of 5-3. And another big thank you to both Lindsey Klein and Lisa Sutton for taking care of the camera here for us tonight. Don't forget, I'm back with you tomorrow afternoon, from Camelot Bowl, as your Collinsville Kahawks open the Southwestern Conference portion of their schedule and the home schedule against O'Fallon. We'll be on the air at about 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, and then we will be bowling right after that. So until then, everybody enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening.